Beyond technical skills, how can we better learn to express different style of music?
Well, that's a very good question. And I mean, it requires, of course, a bit historic knowledge about how music was played in different epochs. For instance, for Baroque music, there is a whole universe how to play trills, how to exactly do the ornamentations. There are different opinions even among Baroque musicians, like what is appropriate, what is not. But you can definitely read books about the period, for instance, how you can listen. Also, we have now fantastic recordings about artists who have, for instance, specialized in performing pieces of Haydn or Mozart. You can check out other instruments, other recordings. I learned also from my professors back then how to play what is appropriate in certain styles. For instance, in classical style and in Baroque style, not the same rubato is allowed or so, for instance, as in other epochs, and like in romantic epochs or in contemporary music, what can you do? There is a whole ongoing discussion, and there's not always like one right way. So I think definitely informing yourself about the historical aspect is one thing. And then secondly, it's about your own sound quality. First of all, mastering the sound of the harp, being able to create different sound colors, and then using the palette of your sound colors in the appropriate way. This is very important. Sound colors is it's without having the ability to produce many different sounds, it's very, very difficult to play different styles, I think.
You always seem so easygoing during your performance. It's so great.
But just on the outside sometimes. Sometimes I'm very nervous. I just performed actually 2 weeks ago in Wuxi. I played a solo recital, half an hour, and then Debussy dances, Carmen Fantasy with the solo harpist, and Ravel Introduction et Allegro. And actually, I was very stressed all of a sudden. There was also a TV recording, and I thought I played the pieces many times, but then still backstage I was like a bit, okay, now there is television and many people. So, of course, I am still sometimes nervous. But then I just try to tell me it will be fine. And I think I accept that there will be mistakes. And also after the concert, I don't punish myself for playing a few wrong notes because it's fine. I think I try to focus on the music. And then automatically less mistakes happen and you're more focused. And I try not to think about the failure,
Just focus on the music.
Because as a soloist, I mean, it's so difficult. I mean, I know very few harpists that play perfect. I mean, perfect without mistakes. And I don't think that's the most important thing. If you play 1 hour, nobody cares.
Yeah.
If a few times you jump a bar or two, of course, it should not be too much. It's more important that the people are excited, they enjoy to listen to you.
In your teaching now, how do you inspire student passion for the harp?
Well, that's also a very good question because, of course, everybody comes actually with passion. I know the students, they love to play the harp, but then they come to the lessons and they play the concerts and they are very afraid, and they are afraid that they are not good enough or they can't keep up with the competition. And then I have to remind them, so just have fun. And of course, it's like, yeah, I want to have fun, but it's so difficult because I'm afraid that I play mistakes. So what I try to remind them, it's like what I said, what I remind myself before going on stage. You love the piece, right? Mm-hmm. You really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you worked for it a lot. So imagine you want to show this to the others and say like, this is harp and it's so great. And focus on this. And don't go on stage with the mindset, oh, I hope I will play perfect, because then you will not play perfect anyways. Then you think about the wrong idea. You have to have the mindset, I enjoy it, it's great, and I want to present it. So I try to remind them to that. I hope they also see me as a personality that enjoys to play the harp, and maybe hopefully they are inspired by that. And I try not to put so much pressure on them.
So enjoy in the music. It is good.
I think it's very important, yeah.
What advice do you have for young performers to help them improve effectively?
So for young performers, of course, it's also, again, a very individual question. because there are some young performers that are extremely advanced and have more experience. But definitely, if you're insecure, if you have stage fright a lot and you're very nervous, then I would ask you, if you're my students, do you really know what the piece says? First of all, do you know what is the idea? Then I would ask, do you know the analysis? Do you know the tonality? And if the person is so nervous, I would say, where does it come from? Do you really know the technical aspect? And to go deeper, to work deeper in the piece, so the person starts to think more about the music and not just about the stage fright. And my advice is, as I said before, there is one aspect, it's the technical skill, but try to enjoy it. Because if you enjoy it, people like to be around people that are fun. Of course, not always everything is fun in life, but people are captured when someone is on fire, when someone has a passion for something and says, like, listen, like yesterday I went there and it was amazing. This is how it should be when you play a concert. You have to take the people with you. So don't forget that it should be fun.
Good advice. Fun.
Yeah, fun.
What are your thoughts about the developments of harp music in China?
I think it's a growing market, definitely. I have had the opportunity to teach harp students in different cities, and I was very actually amazed and surprised by the level of some harpists. I mean, they play very hard pieces at a very young age. In my opinion, it's too early. I would not suggest to play so many difficult pieces already at such an early age. I would rather try to build with easier pieces and over the years, because sometimes I just think like they want too much too fast. But I think there are some very good harp teachers here. I see the interest for harp is quite big, and also China invests a lot of money in classical music. I wish that people would focus more on sound quality. What I said about sound colors, I don't hear a lot of sound colors, and this comes also with the passion and the fun. I don't see a big connection with passion for harp and fun and music. I see people in China are mostly taking it as a huge challenge. Going to the Olympics, I have to win. And I also went to competitions, I also enjoy to win, but this is not how music works. I think when you put too much pressure, especially on young children, you take away their creativity and they will not grow. And it's like a flower. A flower has to bloom slowly and then it opens up. But if at the beginning you're like telling the flower, like, grow, bloom now already, it takes time. It's very difficult to open up the emotion to someone that has had a teacher, for instance, that tells him for 15 years, you have to play perfect, you have to do it right now. And then they come to me and I said, like, yeah, just enjoy to play. Of course, this doesn't work. So I think it's very important that the young harpists here, from the beginning, they can be dedicated, they can have a goal, but also let them be and let them grow in a natural way.
So you encourage them to enjoy the music.
I encourage them to enjoy the life as well, because what can you express when you are not living? People come on stage and they want to hear a story, and sometimes, I find it incredible when I hear what the daily plan of a child in China is, or in Hong Kong, for instance. For me, as a Swiss person, this was very surprising at the beginning, that they have every day from the morning to the evening tutoring, also on the weekends.
Very busy.
Yes, they're so busy. And then I thought, like, wow, they do so much. Actually, what did I do when I was 10 years old or 12? Actually, nothing. I was practicing a bit harp every day, 15 minutes. I did my homework, went to school. But actually, I had a lot of free time. And of course, I could have learned 5 languages and maybe also clarinet and cello at the same time. But at the end of the day, I think every young person needs time to also do nothing and be bored and just like enjoy life. In the end, to be able to express something on stage, because you have to tell a story. When you play music, doesn't matter if you sing, play an instrument, you are transporting emotions. So what can you transport? What have you experienced? The people will feel this.
Good advice. So, looking at the global landscape, what challenges are harp music facing today?
The global landscape, that's a very big one. I mean, I think in many countries nowadays, there is a very insecure feeling. There are a lot of conflicts going on between countries, a lot of money being taken away at the moment from culture and being invested in military. There is huge inflation and financial problems in many countries. So this is a problem not only for harpists, but in general for all musicians. So that is definitely hindering maybe young musicians to choose the harp because they don't believe anymore I can make a living from this. It's not sustainable. For young harpists in general, maybe it's this, I would say, like the pressure of I don't believe anymore that this is a good choice, and then they don't even want to do it as a profession. I think that is a big problem that might appear with us for the next years. I hope I'm wrong. It's a difficult time for artists, and it doesn't
Yes.
get easier at the moment.
Thank you for your interview.
Thank you so much, Helen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carty Harp Center, for making this conversation possible. And remember, it isn't about a perfect performance. It's about sharing your emotions and your passion for the harp with other people.